Have you ever felt stuck? Not physically stuck, mind you. Not like you were caught in quicksand or trapped in some kind of cave. Have you ever felt mentally stuck or found yourself in a situation in which you knew you had things to do, but were so overwhelmed that instead of doing any of those things, you did none of them? This isn't such an uncommon occurrence these days. The world today is packed to the gills with responsibilities and distractions. Everything from our phones to social media and our normal day-to-day work functions is vying for our attention at all times. And that's even before you factor in time for actually living, like spending time with family and friends. These days, even a simple task like starting a new project can feel overly complicated, overwhelming, and daunting. But is it really complicated? Or do we unnecessarily complicate things for ourselves? Think back to what it must have been like 50 years ago, before social media, before smartphones, before the internet. Sure, information was not as easily accessible, but people got things done because there were far fewer distractions. There weren't as many free dopamine hits drowning out the important things in life. I'm not saying we should revert back to life as it was in 1974, although it was probably pretty groovy. But what if we use that time as a blueprint for our lives as they are in 2024? What if we got rid of distractions and made things more simple? Think of all the things we could accomplish. Let's find out how to make a simpler, more productive life right now together. What does it mean to make it simple? Picture this. Someone recommends a cool new shop to you, and you decide you want to check it out. The shop is located on Main Street. Saturday rolls around. You're off of work, and you decide to make the trek down to the store to see what all of the fuss is about. You leave your house around noon, and the bustle of people enjoying their weekend, street markets, and other distractions make you lose track of time on the way to the store. It's closed when you get there. Instead of waiting till the afternoon, what if you left early in the morning? There wouldn't be as many people out and about. The markets wouldn't be there to distract you. And you would definitely make it to the store with plenty of time to spare. This is what making it simple is all about. Going out of your way to remove distractions, simplify your course of action, and clear your path to success. This won't always be easy, especially with the decision fatigue that can set in so early in our days. Thanks to constant internal analysis, like, do I like this post? Should I share it with my friend? Do I agree with what this TikTok is saying? Do I look good enough in this picture to share it? It's all very exhausting, and you almost have to wonder if thinkings like this on a constant basis is even worth the effort it costs, especially when it comes at the cost of our productivity and mental well-being. Part of making it simple will involve eliminating much of this needless mental strain, but a bigger part of it is ignoring the noise around your goal, learning how to see past all of the needless details so you can focus on the core of whatever you're doing. Whether that turns out to be a new hobby, a career change, learning a new skill, or tackling some other kind of difficult goal, it will benefit from this skill. As an example, I'm the kind of person who always wants the maximum amount of information at all times. In middle school, that meant highlighting entire pages in my textbook instead of just the truly important points, and that made studying far more difficult than it needed to be. Essentially, don't make things more complicated than they need to be. How can you make it simple? The actual process of making it simple will depend on what it is you're trying to do. Different goals will require different tactics, but here's an example you can use when making things simple for yourself. Changing career paths. Imagine you are a high school math teacher, and you come to the conclusion that convincing teenagers to crunch numbers is no longer for you. Instead of babysitting teens, You decide you want to babysit adults by becoming a project manager. You should ask yourself these questions. What skills do I need to become a project manager? Which of these do I already possess? Which do I need to learn? The required skills for project management roles can be found by scanning through some project manager job applications. How can I learn the skills I need but do not have? Where can I learn? Is it possible to obtain this knowledge through self-teaching, or would I need to take a course? How much time and resources would it take to learn these skills? With your background in education, you already have some of the required skills, such as team management, communication, and active listening. Great. However, the concept of technical writing is completely lost on you. So that's what you need to learn before you can become a project manager. Now, we can begin forming a timeline. Let's say you would like to at least be moderately proficient in technical writing within 12 months. Now, you pull out your calendar and take note of the time between now and when you want to achieve your goal. For all of the time in between, you need to find the time you are going to spend taking courses, watching YouTube tutorials, and studying this skill you want to learn. You obviously can't spend entire days doing this in a healthy manner, so you need to factor in non-negotiables like sleep, work, appointments, and other things like that. Once you have calculated your non-negotiables, the leftover time will be for learning your skills and living life. Just be careful that you find a good balance between the two, so you don't get burned out. Just like that, you've turned what might be a paralyzing decision into an easily followable plan. This was a specific example, but the process and considerations for it can be applied to just about any pursuit you would like to simplify. Who can make it simple? Anyone can make it simple. All you have to do is break down your daunting tasks and goals until the destination is clearly visible. That's what makes them achievable. Think about the example of looking for a new shop on a Saturday that I provided earlier. It wasn't until the distractions were removed, is getting rid of the things that stood between you and where you wanted to go, that you were able to get there. It will take some people more effort than others, but this is something everyone can do if they put their mind to it. When can you make it simple? Everyone has different obligations and other things that take up time in their day. Maybe you have a family to take care of. Maybe you work several jobs. Or maybe you're the caretaker of a loved one. Because of this, there's no one-size-fits-all answer to when can you make it simple. The best time to make it simple is when you can make it simple, whatever your busy schedule permits. This is why the planning portion of the process is so critical to making things simple. You need to find the time for whatever it is you want to do, and then stick to that plan until you reach your goal. Just remember, if you do decide to do this for whatever reason, whether it's to change careers, like in the example I provided, or even something less drastic, you should be shooting for a goal that you're actually excited to pursue and accomplish. If you're going through this process to appease someone else or any other reason, you're not simplifying your life. You're making it more complicated. Your goals should always be made with the intention of creating a better, more fulfilling life for yourself, regardless of the opinions of others. I mentioned the rampant, cheap dopamine that social media and the internet provide today, but there's nothing like the rush that comes from accomplishing something that makes you truly happy. Robert Sapolsky, a professor of biology, neurology, neurological sciences, and neurosurgery at Stanford University, said it best. Dopamine is not about the pursuit of happiness. It is about the happiness of the pursuit. As long as you're working towards your own goals, you're on the right track.